we're always on our best behaviour, best respect, we listen carefully, and we give ourselves the best representation that we can. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's no different now with regards to today. Okay, now we know all about sport here in the school. We've got our GA teams, soccer teams, and we've got boxing, we've got swimming, and a lot of you are all involved in it. Okay? The most important thing, and what you've been doing this year and last year, has been doing the marathons with your teachers. I know Ms. Collins, you did it last year with your group, Ms. Tracy as well. So now it's part of the school, so every year we'll be doing it. And you know the benefit of a healthy lifestyle, don't you, Thomas?
Yeah.
Alright, you feel good, you sleep better, you look better, more energy, more fight better as well. So you have more energy then for your schoolwork, and you're more confident then in yourself. Okay? So that's why sport is important. We have a very special guest here today, and it's David-Gillick, and David is going to take some time out of his busy schedule to answer some important questions, give some demonstrations about how to run and everything like that, and that's where we go. And we might take a few lucky few people, or we might take everybody, David. I don't know, we haven't decided yet.
Get everyone
We might
out.
take everybody.
Oh, they'd all love
Yeah, love to be able to go, so we might do that. Alright, now, I want everybody on their best behaviour for that to happen. Alright, so a big St. Thomas's round of applause to David Gillick.
I'm gonna get my guitar out and give you a bit of a song. I won't do that because I can't play the guitar. But, no, pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the kind words. It's always a pleasure to visit schools and just have a chat with you about the importance of just being active, and obviously with marathon kids, the importance about just getting out and doing a little bit of running. Okay, so my own background was athletics. It was a huge part of my life. I competed for Ireland at all major championships, Europeans, Worlds and Olympics, and I suppose, to be honest with you, it all started kind of in a school very similar to this. I had some fantastic teachers, as you guys do, and I had one particular teacher who was very interested in athletics. That was her kind of sport. And about every kind of springtime, she would bring us all out to a field beside the school, and she'd just get us running. And off the back of that, she would then maybe pick a team to go to the Cumberland One School, so the Dublin Primary School sports that take place every year in Santry. And the truth be told, that was the start of my athletics and my running journey, okay? I didn't know if I was going to be any good. I didn't know if I was going to go on and run for Ireland for over the next kind of nearly 20 years. I didn't really expect it to, but I enjoyed it. And I think the purpose of kind of marathon kids is something that I'm quite passionate about, is athletics has been huge for me. Okay, I've travelled the world, I've met so many good people, I've represented my country, all of that good stuff. Okay, but the reality of it was, the reason I got involved into it was I actually just had a bit of fun, I had a bit of crack, I enjoyed it, and I think the reality of that was something that I think is really important, because when it comes to sport, we sometimes think about the medals, winning, losing, goals, all that sort of stuff. But the fact of the matter is that if we enjoy it, the chances are we'll actually maybe continue doing what we're doing. And that was simply what kind of grabbed me. And I think it's my duty now is to try and give back. And we talk about the grassroots, which is you guys. And athletics and running is a little bit of a smaller sport. You don't really see a whole lot of it. It's more kind of dominated by the bigger sports. But athletics is fantastic. It's a great sport, and it's the basis of an awful lot of sport. Okay, because I can guarantee there's people here that probably do soccer, maybe a bit of rugby, GAA, hurling, football, maybe a bit of basketball, maybe swimming. We do a whole array of sports. And there will be people here looking at me going, I hate running. Okay? And that's okay. I understand. It's not for everyone. But if I was to say to you, well, like, if you could run maybe a little bit faster, a little bit longer, maybe a little bit quicker, would that help you in the sport that you do enjoy? The answer would be yes, of course it would. Okay? So again, sometimes if you just change your mindset around kind of what running is, and what it can maybe do for the sport that you do enjoy. And you look at all maybe the Messis and the Ronaldos of this world. Are they good runners? Yeah, they can run fast and they can run for a long time and make some who they are. So again, with running and with marathon kids, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to showcase what running is all about. And it's not always just about running. You can walk it, you can jog it, you can run, walk, or you can run the whole thing, whatever it is, whatever suits you. And also, the whole kind of purpose of it is that we want to educate people on the benefits of exercise. Okay, and each week in your workbook you've been learning bits and bobs about you know, your physical well-being. Obviously getting out and running is great for your heart, your lungs, your overall body, and your mental well-being. So again, when we exercise and when we go out and we do any kind of sport, we tend to have a bit of a smile on our face. We tend to enjoy it, and that makes you feel good about yourself. So again, whatever might be going on in your lives, in the classroom, or in your own head, sometimes getting out into the fresh air, kicking a ball, going for a walk, going for a run, you know, catching up with your friends, that can be a great moment for you mentally as well, and that's really, really important. All right. So again, I suppose to bring it back for me, any daydreamers here? Any daydreamers? No daydreamers. Yeah, you good. I like the honesty. Yeah. Okay. Well, when I was growing up, okay, I had I obviously loved sport. And I used to watch all sport on TV, and there was an Irish athlete people may know called S.N.S, who was probably Ireland's greatest sports person, arguably. And she won plenty of medals at all major championships. And she won a silver medal in the Olympics back in the year 2000, okay? So a few years before you were around, but it did happen. And I can remember watching it on TV and just being blown away by it. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing to do a lap of honour, getting on the podium, national anthem, a medal? And then I'd be in class and I would daydream. And the daydream was always, what would be my reaction? If I won a race, what would I do? What would be the reaction? Would I do like the Ronaldo, whatever he does when he scores a goal? Would I do a bolt like this? Or would I just, you know, maybe some of the older generation in the room might remember Jurgen Klinsmann, a German footballer, he used to always dive on his belly. I don't know if you can do that with athletics track, it might come off worse, but that was it. And I used to dream in the classroom, think, what would I do, what would I do? And to be honest, that kind of became a bit of a motivating factor. That was something that I wanted to do. And, you know, I didn't know if athletics was going to, you know, be a career or whatever it was, but I was lucky. And I was lucky that in my community, I had a running club, and I had someone who, her name was Liz, okay? And Liz coached for 49 years, she coached kids in my area. So nearly 50 years, she gave up all her time. And again, that's something that you've learned about in your workbook, about the social benefits, bringing people together. People that are just kind of investing their time in you, whatever sport there might be. And for me, I was very lucky to have someone like that at the end of my road. I got involved in athletics and away it went. And I wasn't always successful. Plenty of moments where I didn't win, I didn't have good performances. But you know what, I still enjoyed it. I played a lot of other sports growing up, Gaelic, soccer and all the rest of it. But it wasn't really until I was a late teenager that I decided, you know what, athletics is where it is for me. And I went to Jamaica, okay, over the Caribbean for the World Junior Championships. And the interesting thing about it was, I didn't qualify as an individual. I didn't run fast enough. But I sent a relay team, and I was part of that team. And I can remember on a Saturday night in Kingston, which is the capital of Jamaica, the whole crowd, nearly 50,000 people packed into this stadium. And everybody was shouting, Bolt, Bolt, Bolt. And this little kid called Usain Bolt, who was 2 years younger than everybody else. So I was 18, he was 16. And on the track, he was doing the 200 metres, the men's 200 metres. And he came out and he just absolutely annihilated everybody else. And he won that race by a country mile, and the whole stadium just went berserk. And I remember thinking, I want to be like him. I want to be that guy down the track. And when I came back from those championships, that was it. I said, I'm going to be an athlete, I'm going to try and work really, really hard. And work with the people around me, and thankfully that's what happened. So, you know, I know there's people in here who have many kind of dreams and hopes that you want to achieve for yourself and goals. Make sure you hang on to that. Okay, you don't have to tell anyone, you don't have to share it, but hold it close to you, because that's a very motivating factor, you know, and even sometimes write it down and remind yourself of what you want to do for yourself, because it's so important. And, you know, I'm in a very privileged position now to come back and share my experiences. But it all happened in a school very similar to this, with great teachers like you have, who are investing their time in you and getting you out and being active, because sport and exercise, it's such a great thing to be able to do. And like I said, it's about that taking part, having a bit of fun with your friends, and maybe even a goal or two off the back of it. And that's something that you can hold dear to yourself and work hard. So that's kind of a bit of a snapshot of my journey. I know there's people here who are kind of like desperate to ask me loads of questions. So do you want to come and ask me them, or do you want them? Who's first? Oh man, do you want the microphone? No, you don't want the microphone. We've got to shout so people can hear it now, okay?
What does Olympic athlete?
What does it take? Okay, well, it takes a lot of hard work, okay? And in any walk of life, okay, success is never a straight line, all right? You don't just go, bang, everything's going to work out for me. It didn't happen that way. So to become an Olympic athlete, I suppose the way it all worked was I would train for 6 days a week. I had 1 day off, which is a Sunday. And some days we trained twice a day. But you know what? I loved it. I was around like-minded people, and we all helped. We had a training group, and we all helped each other. But it was also the other stuff. It wasn't just the training. It was my sleep. So trying to get a few extra hours in bed, making sure that I was eating right, drinking plenty of water, and having my goals and kind of building a bit of a plan around them. So it wasn't just, sometimes people think athletics, Olympics, it's all the physical. I had to work on the old head up here as well, and keep kind of telling myself that I was good enough, and I was strong enough, and I was capable of doing it. So it took an awful lot of stuff, an awful lot of work. You've got a few questions there, do you? 2 more, go on.
How do you keep motivated to train, especially in winter?
Oh, the winter, yeah. Yeah, it was cold, and it'd be wet, it might be snow, and you're thinking, don't want to do this today. But I used to always say on those days that those are the days that the medals were won, okay? Because it's too easy to not go and do it. So if it's cold or you're a bit tired, I don't want to do it, it's too easy. You have to do it. Because that in yourself creates a bit of character. And that's what you want when it gets really tough, the tough get going, okay? So, again, with everything, we all have challenges, we all have obstacles, and sometimes we want to give up. Don't give up, okay? It's too easy to give up. And when we give up, that then can become a really easy habit, that when it gets tough, I'll give up. So I always try to kind of work hard on that, and that's why I had good people around me. And I had a bit of a plan. So I had a little bit of a pyramid that I drew on a piece of paper, and I created all these little blocks in the pyramid. So, you know, the pyramids in Egypt, they're made of these big, massive blocks. So each block represented something that I could control, okay? So at the very top was my big goal. I wanted to make a global 400-metre final. And then all these little blocks became the little 1% that I could control. So going to bed early, having a good diet, training hard. And when I saw those things, that motivated me to get out. No matter if it was cold or what, get out and get it done. Another one.
Is there anything you would like to do next?
Is there anything I'd like to do next? Hey, that's a good question. This is like a therapy session. Like, is there anything? Yeah, there is. I think, you know what, like, is anyone watching Hell Week at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, that was something that I always kind of thought, like, I would like to do. And sometimes I think being challenged is great. So, well, do you know what it is, actually? I'll be going to be brutally honest with you. The thing that I want to do next is finish the Dublin Marathon. Okay? I'm doing the Dublin Marathon in this Sunday, 2 weeks. Okay? So how long is the marathon? 26.2. Don't forget about the 0.2 because it hurts, right? So that's 42 kilometres. So that's what I want to do next. I want to complete the Dublin Marathon. Do you think I can do it?
Yes.
Give it a go. All right? Great questions. Thank you. Step into my office. Nice and loud so everyone can hear.
Do you have any advice to anyone that wants to be an athlete in the future?
Yeah, I've got loads of advice. I think when it comes to things like that, any kind of sport, right, what makes you better is you need to take a bit of hard work, you know, so you're going to have days that are going to be good and days that are going to be hard, but you've got to work hard and you've got to be consistent as well. So, you know, if you wanted to run, if you want to get better, maybe it's that consistency over time. So what I mean by consistency is, if you go out this week, it's twice a week, well the next week it has to be twice a week. So it can't be twice a week and then never, and then go back again. So each week, you're trying to be consistent. So regularly out working hard. And I think the basics, of which you guys all know, you know, if you want to be better at something kind of sport or even academic and schoolwork, you got to put in a bit of work. And don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? That's the biggest thing. So if you ever get stuck at something, or you want to improve, there's plenty of people here that could help you out, you know? And sometimes we're a bit shy, we're a bit afraid to put our hand up, and that could mean like maybe, you know, mentally as well, maybe we're feeling a bit sad, we're feeling a bit down. Talk to someone, and that's really important. So again, from a sporting concept, it's the same thing. Put your hand up and ask for help and advice, and that's exactly what I did. And I think that was a huge factor in terms of like bettering myself.
Did you meet Usain Bolt and what did you say?
Like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well Usain Bolt, I competed in the 2008 Olympic Games, and they were in Beijing. What year were we kind of born in here? I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. It happened, okay? Okay, we had no TVs back then, or no Wi-Fi, you know, no internet, but it did happen, okay? And in 2008, Usain Bolt, he broke the world record over 100 meters. And halfway down the track, he was so fast and so far ahead of him, he started celebrating, you know, with nearly 30 meters to go. But he was wearing these gold spikes, okay? And he has an agent, and his agent is actually Irish. He's from Donegal, and I know him. And through that, I met Usain Bolt literally 2 days after he ran that world record, and I held his spike, the shoe that he wore, which was pretty cool. And what he didn't really say a whole lot to me now, in fairness. Yeah, he had his game face on because he had another race coming up. But all he does, he just walks around and goes like this. That's all he does. No, he's a good guy. He was great for the sport of athletics, and I think, you know, every sport needs heroes, and he definitely was an athletic hero.
Thank you.
Good questions? Up your pop. You want the mic?
Okay, I have a few questions to ask you,
Ah.
David. So the first one I have to ask is, how did you feel when you won your first gold medal?
Oh, that's a great question. How did I feel? How do you think I felt?
Probably very happy and excited.
Oh, I'm telling you, I was so excited. Because I used to dream about that. I was like, what to do when I cross the line first? And to be honest with you, it was a dream come true. Because I said that when I used to watch athletes, particularly Irish athletes on the TV, I used to like dream about what it would be like and all that. And then when it came true, it was really exciting, you know, because everything happened so fast. But you know what was even better? I woke up the next day and I was like, that wasn't a dream, that actually happened. That was pretty cool. So yeah, when my dreams came true, it was a brilliant moment.
The next question I have is, other than running, what other sports are you interested in?
So growing up, I played an awful lot of soccer. I played a lot of GAA. To be honest with you, I like any sport. I used to watch any sport I could find on the TV. But yeah, it was probably like right now. I do follow soccer. If I'm going to ask me what my football people I support, they're not in the Premier League. Okay, they're an English team. They're not in the Premier League. We'll leave that there. You can stew on that for a little bit, right? But I do. I like all sport. Right now, I'm back into my running, so I like my running. I do a little bit of cycling, which is pretty cool. And again, around here, up around the mountains there, you got great trails and stuff like that. If anyone's on bikes, is always cool. So yeah, kind of all sports really.
I heard you wrote a cookbook. What is your favourite meal to make from that cookbook that you're doing?
Turkey burgers. Yeah, homemade turkey burgers. So turkey's really good for you, right? But if you get minced turkey, you get it in the shops, and you make your own burgers. And then you make your own chips as well. So basically, burger and chips, okay? But no, I really like that. Yeah, I did write a cookbook, you haven't?
No, I was just looking at the American Kids book. I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I did, because food is something that I really enjoy kind of making and stuff like that. And obviously, when you're trying to better yourself, you got to eat right, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, do you want the microphone as well? Yeah. So I started running kind of similar to you guys, right, in my primary school, and then I joined my local athletic club probably when I was about, I think it was about maybe about eight or nine, and that's kind of when I started, you know, and I enjoyed it. Again, there was times when I won loads of races, times when I won nothing, but I had like, all my friends did it, and that kind of helped as well. And there was relay teams as well, so sometimes with relay teams, it's not all about the individual, it's about everyone, and I kind of enjoyed that. So it's like kind of soccer or any kind of team sport where there's other people on the pitch. And then in secondary school, I wasn't really winning anything, but we had a cross-country team. So there was like 6 people on a cross-country team, and I enjoyed being part of that.
What is the hardest part in running and how do you overcome it?
Do you know what the hardest part is? Does anyone have that little voice inside your head that kind of says you can't do that, you're not good enough? Yeah, okay. Well, that voice inside my head was pretty kind of loud. And I'll be honest, he used to tell me at times, you're not good enough, David. You're not good enough. You're from Dublin, Ireland. We're not able to run fast. You know, The Americans, the Jamaicans, the Caribbean, the Africans are all better than me. And sometimes I'd let that little voice shout really loud, and I believe it. And that's your internal voice, okay? And that was probably the biggest thing to overcome, was like having the belief and having the confidence that, you know what, I can be up here with some of the best of them. And that took a bit of time, and I went back to having my little goals and trying to see, okay, how am I going to do it? And one of the best quotes I ever read was, and many people here, just a show of hands, you don't have to tell me, but many people here have some goals, things that you want to achieve. Good, okay, excellent, okay, hands down. But a great quote that I read was, a goal without a plan is just a wish, all right? So the important thing with having a goal helps give you direction, okay? But we need to maybe have a bit of a plan about how you're going to achieve it. And that's exactly what I used to do, and that gave me a lot of belief, and it shut the little dude inside my head quieting down a little bit. All right, thank you. Next. Shout it in there. The furthest distance I've ever ran. Okay, so my event was 400 meters. Okay, so that's pretty short. All right, so that's a lap of a track. Roughly takes under 45 seconds. Okay, so it's pretty short. So the longest that I've ran was actually last weekend. I ran 32 kilometers. Okay, because I'm doing the Dublin Marathon. So the Dublin Marathon is 42 kilometers. So hopefully, if I finish the marathon, that will be the longest distance that I'll run. But today is 32.
What countries have you traveled to from?
Yeah, like that's a great thing about sport. It can bring you anywhere. So I lived in England for nearly 10 years. And then I spent a year in America, trained in America. I spent a year in Australia, trained down there. And when I did live in England, we used to go on training camps. And one of the best places I was ever to was down to South Africa. Really cool. And then we used to go on training camps to all over the place. And then some competitions, you know, China, Japan, all over Europe. So I'm pretty lucky. I think my favourite place was probably South Africa. Yeah, it was cool. All right, thank you. Last but not least. Here we go. Mike is all yours.
Do you have moments of self-doubt, and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, a lot of them. Like moments that would be, you know, world finals, and I was really nervous. Anyone get nervous? Yeah, do we know what nerves? Do you know the butterflies in your stomach and all that? Well, my first big medal that I won was back in 2005, okay? There was a year 2005, okay? I know it was many moons ago for you guys. I won my first European title, okay? And I was so nervous. To the point where the little voice inside my head was just shouting at me going, you're not going to win this, you're no good. And what I got used to after that championship was I needed to embrace that, okay? I needed to embrace the little nerve. So if you all imagine that there's like butterflies going all different directions in your stomach, and that gives you that feeling, that nervous kind of feeling. But if we can get all those butterflies to go in one direction, okay? And that was just a visual thing that I used to think about, because you know what? Nerves are actually good. Nerves show that you care, and if you care, you perform. So again, trying to shift your mindset around it. So simple things I used to do. I used to get a pen and paper, and I used to write down all the little dents that were in my head. So I'm going to come last, people are going to laugh at me, all these silly little things that were probably never going to happen, but yet I was thinking about it. So I'd write them all down, and then I'd rip them up and chuck them in the bin. So I'd get them out of my head. And then what I used to do is write down all the things that actually happened. So all the training sessions I put in, all the times that I ran, all the races that I maybe won or did well in, or any of the medals. And I used to read that and go, that actually happened. So why am I focusing on all the other stuff? And that gave me a bit of sense of belief and confidence. And then the other thing I used to do was, I used to try and kind of manage my breathing. So when we get nervous, the heart rate goes up and you can really feel your heart. So what I used to try and do was just try and manage that a little bit. So you used to imagine, right, and you can all do it with me, okay? I want everybody just to look at the end of your nose. Just look at the end of your nose, okay? Now, I want you to imagine there's a little feather at the end of your nose, okay? All right, can we see the feather? You can, okay? Just play along with me here. So there's a little feather at the end of your nose, right? All I want you now to do is to take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Don't dislodge the feather. So nice and easy. Go again. In and exhale out. One more. Don't dislodge the feather. and exhale out. And that's what I used to do to try and calm myself down. So before the blocks in a big stadium, lots of noise, I used to try and calm myself down. And I think nowadays they call it maybe mindfulness or something like that. But back then, take a couple of breaths and just calm yourself down. That's what I used to do. All right. In here, come into the mic there, so I can hear.
You had to make any sacrifices to get where you are now.
Yeah, I did. Quite a lot. Like I had to. I left home, so I moved to England, which it was hard. You know, I left all my friends and family. But I think it was an important decision to make, and I think that was a sacrifice. You know what? Sometimes I don't actually like using the word sacrifices. Okay, it was more like it was a choice. I had a choice, and I'm glad I made that decision because. You know, I missed out on birthday parties, times out with my mates and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, in sport, you've only got a shelf life, okay? You've only got a couple of years to maximise that talent, that God-given talent that you had, and you've got to go for it because it won't last forever. So, you know, that window of opportunity slowly closes and closes, so you've got to just jump through it. So I think those decisions were hard, and yes, I missed home and all the rest of it that came with it, but at the same time, I think that was a motivating factor for me as well. It kind of inspired me to really give it a go because I didn't want to come home with my tail between my legs. I wanted to come home with medals, and that's kind of what I wanted. No problem. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, David.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Great questions. Thank you.
Just before we finish up, a big round of applause for all his words of wisdom there. There's definitely things that you could all pick up on from him going forward now for the rest of the year, but also rest of your life really, and any sporting events or any sporting activities that you would like to do. Now, just because you've been so good, so patient, you know, I see a lot of legs are starting to move there now, and people are getting, oh God, what's going on? Alright, everybody's going to go out to get a chance to do a bit of running, alright? Now, what we're going to do first is, okay, we'll take the blue group first, alright, with your teachers. When your teachers call you, Paige, and they ask you to stand up, then you head up to the Astro. That would be okay. And
Yeah, cool. There we go.
Alright, big round of applause.
Look, the david-gillick chap. Very down there. Come here, look. Shout out to them all. $5. I need to find out what look, I'm not else on the awesome. No one else. There's one for St. Thomas. Woo! Go outside, I want to see it. Now, go outside up the camera. I want to see it. I want to see it outside. What the hell? They're messing with them. Can you not your oil to the camera? Okay. Put your oil to the camera.
It's not ours. We're going to run. Please don't touch it. Philip, let go, please. Because it could knock over easily and then you will have to call.
I think we're coming down straight from the You do it. I'll show your eye. I can't.
Philip, we don't have us again, honey. Please let go. Because if something happens to it, they'll blame you.
Okay, guys, put it this way. Peace out.
So let's share the children's break and then we will be fine to go back down to the class to collect their lunch. Thank you.